Ah, there we go. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. I hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. If you're on TikTok, though, I feel like you're probably having a very, very, very horrible day. Probably. So, hi, Squirrel. How are you? Hi, Moon. How are you, too? How are you both doing today? All right, let's see. I just remembered something. Today is what, like... Oh, yeah. I forgot. I think my it was my affiliate day right there. I was like, oh, I completely forgot about that. I mean, to be fair, it's just another day. It's just another day, just like my birthday. Just another day. Doing good. Took a big nap. I see. Also, let me drink some more before we go on, because there's a lot of stuff going on today. I mean, for TikTok users, they had a very up and down type of day yesterday and today. There we go. You guys didn't see what happened? There was a little publicity stunt that actually worked really, really good. You may say it might be a social experiment. And then the other thing going on with Affiliate getting permanently banned off of their Fansly account, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff going on from Nintendo, and it's crazy. It's a lot of stuff that happened this week. But let's get on with the first bit right there, which is obviously going to be Fillion. How did Fillion get banned? It's Fillion. For some reason, no one doesn't like Fillion. Which, to be fair, I think is mainly for the fact that I personally believe it's just because of how she tends to get the cheaper stuff. And, like, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that people just don't like it because it's working for her. Maybe that might be why. But it's very weird. It's very weird, especially if it's Fansly. I know a lot of sites are getting like hit right now with that because it's essentially a meme. I think that's what people are doing right now with their social media things right now with going on back to TikTok. But Fansly also got hit with something like that too, and not just that, like a whole bunch of other stuff too. Like some people were like doing that to like Blue Sky too, and it was just like a Photoshop. Is what I can gather from it. It's not the actual thing. So if you guys have Blue Sky, you're not like, you don't have to freak out. It's just Photoshop, bro. It's just Photoshop. But that was funny though. I thought that was like the biggest social experiment. But let's get on with the Fillion one first before anything else. And there we go. All right, so there we go. We have it right here. Hang on, let me just get that going. Just to make sure that doesn't go to sleep, because I also got to get the other scene set to that. And now we can get on with this. But it's crazy, though, that Fillion gets banned or harassed for literally everything. It's kind of crazy, though. She does have a lot of wild takes, but judging by how she acts, I can see that. And, you know, you're just okay with it, because, you know, it's... Like Chad, like, okay, you know, I'm not gonna even tell you guys. I feel like people should know about that by now, but you know, oh well. If you don't, well, you're gonna feel like an idiot sooner or later then. But this happened though on the 12th of last week. And this was a statement that she had put out talking about her OnlyFans, her Fansly. Like, wait, what? Fillion has OnlyFans? What? Where have I been? No. Fansly account has been permanently banned with no warning due to an alleged breach of the TOS of Fansly. That has resulted in a loss of subscribers list. So meaning if you had a subscription to her account on that, yeah, well, shit, you just fucking put that money up. It looks like it's back now. It's back now. Oh, well, and supposedly it came back. So that's good. So I think this is just like, you know, if you are very familiar with like how YouTube is targeting VTubers at the current time of recording this, because I've been seeing that again. Yeah, so I honestly feel like they're just trying to like test the waters again. So I feel like if you are a VTuber or currently follow a few VTubers, they may get hit. I may get hit. It's kind of inevitable at this point, but that's good though that she got her account back though, especially with like no warning whatsoever, which kind of goes with the same thing that YouTube unfortunately does. Also hide people from YouTube. I'm not trying to call you guys out, but that happens quite a bit. That does happen quite a bit. I do not know why you guys like to do that just out of nowhere, but you guys do it. Even though there's bigger problem actors going on over there, you just let them be, but, you know, whatever. Next, TikTok will be banned on the United States from, obviously, you know, like today at midnight. Crazy. I do not know when they're going to do it, but there is the talks that, you know, the soon-to-be president coming in may try to revert that decision. Will he do that? I don't know. But you want to know what was fun to watch for the past like few hours was people freaking out over the little I guess publicity social experiment that they did, which I'll be honest with you, whoever did that, I respect you. That's kind of funny, but kind of fucked up at the same time.
I made the renegade dance.
Yeah, how I'm gonna survive.
These are like
This
all
app
these
was
people
literally
freaking out over
supposed to be
TikTok.
my way out. Over everyone who's saying, go get a job, go get a job. I am literally working. I have no more time. I work almost every day doing DoorDash, and DoorDash pays
$41, bro, that's nothing.
Instacart. I have classes Monday through Thursday in person. I have been posting on this app almost every day for 5 years, guys.
Dude, why are you getting so close?
Ah,
he looks like he's strangling us.
every day for the last
Government, I'm never forgiving you for this. And I'm never going to trust you ever again because you just, like that, took away millions of people's income and livelihood.
Dude.
And who does that? It's really not.
Yeah, that's what's been going on. Very interesting, though, I will say. A very messed up social experiment, might I add. Who did that? I will never know. I don't know why they did that. Chow, what do you guys think on that right there? Like, I honestly think this was like some kind of social experiment that they did. Like, 100%. I don't know why they did that. No, it was funny. I guess, so when TikTok gets banned officially, because right now, as of recording, supposedly one of the family members said that they were able to get back on TikTok. So that's good. But it's going to be, so man, again, as I said, if you're a fan of TikTok and they're very dependent, like how these people are, you're going to have a very up and down, experience. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Whoever is over there, which is obviously like like Chinese owned and all that, whoever is doing that, dude, the most diabolical person in the world right there is just like, I turned it off. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna turn it back on. You know what? Second time, I'm gonna turn it back off. Okay, you know what? I'll turn it back on just for a little while longer for you guys over here. All right. Well, now it's actually gone. Goodbye. Oh man, that's gonna be funny. The up and down. But what's not gonna be funny are the many accounts that are going to be coming over that are going to try to do whatever they can to get any kind of attention. If you remember the Jack, him, he was on another social media account that got 86 out the window. Since TikTok is getting 86 out the window by force by the US government, they're going to be a lot of them coming in. So that's one thing I'm not going to be funny. That's not going to be funny. That's going to be very painful. It's going to be horrible. I can only handle a few nuisance streamers at a time. Add 2 more to the mix, something's going to snap. And I'm a lion. I cannot go back to the zoo. I cannot go back to that heathen place of the zoo. I can't. Next that we have, this is talk about the Nintendo Switch from a French retailer employee claims the Nintendo Switch 2 preparing for pre-orders will sell at 30. And you know what? I'm just going to skip it. Chat. So if you didn't see this, Nintendo Switch 2 actually got announced. The reason why I still don't like this part. Could be made out of metal? I don't know. But let's just skip to that. But yeah, so it is, the size comparison is bigger. But the only reason why they had to put this out just like out of nowhere was because of what I just said right there. Those rumors and as well as leakers started to put that out, and Nintendo, let's just say, was not very happy when that happened. So they just did the preemptive strike and essentially put that out. But people have been noticing though that with the Mario Kart, if we can find that one really quick. Well, I can't even find that right now. But there was something with the Mario Kart though. Just somewhere 2025. Yeah, but they had to drop this though, just because of the leakers. So Nintendo was not very happy. It was just like on a random. The 16th was when? Like on a Thursday? I think it was on a Thursday, right? Yeah, it was just like a Thursday morning, just out of nowhere. Just, hey, by the way, Nintendo Switch 2. I know we would do a big showcase for it, but you know, surprise. Yeah, Nintendo is not very happy about this. I would try to look at more stuff from that, but I'm honestly at the risk of getting under Nintendo's nails, and I do not wish to go down that way. I don't want to go down that direction. There are many ways I want to go. That one, getting strangled out by Nintendo is not one of them on that list, unfortunately. One of them is by Anime Thighs. That one is one. I will not talk about the other 12 more, but anyway, on with more news from Assassin's Creed Shadows. I thought this was like photoshopped at first. They have Russell from Up. Why is he here? Turns out I thought this was photoshopped, and as you can see from the top of my head, it's actually from their official account. Let that sink in for a minute right there. All right. So we got one of the main characters from Up. We got random person right here. We got Grandma. Okay. This is okay. Yeah, this is not looking too good right here. This is not looking too good. And then we got these random people just standing there menacingly. That's it. That's essentially it. Why? What, like, I just want to know if they're trying, like, dude, they're honestly really trying to piss off a lot of people right now. And it's like on purpose. Like, visually wise, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know a lot of you guys are gonna hate me for that because it's gonna say, "Oh my God, he's praising it." The one thing, it's only one thing. There was like 100 other things that are wrong with it. But the one thing that I will see from the Assassin's Creed Shadows when it comes from the gameplay, the destinations and how they look like landscape wise, looks visually appealing. However, you can have a visually appealing landscape, but you can have a shit story with shit characters. Sorry, got something in my throat. You can have that, and that's what Ubisoft showed. I honestly feel like if you have a choice between two characters, and you know how they always do that, it's like you can't choose between, like, can you be male or female? They don't have that choice. Like, like you could choose one and just stick with them the whole game. Now, Assassin's Creed, like, Odyssey had that choice. You could choose between, the male and female. That was the one that had right there. A lot of people don't remember that because they always push the female character out than the male character, which is obvious from how Ubisoft runs their company, and that's why they're going bankrupt and are going to not be able to own it anymore. Yeah. It's so I honestly feel like they're not going to even want to show, like, the lady from here all that much. They're going to show, the made up, character that they just pulled out of their ass. And it's crazy too, because I know this is forced, because if you've seen some of the gameplay trailers, I'm just going to pull this out right now, just because I was saving this. I seen some of the gameplay trailers from this. Again, as I said, visually, like the landscape looks nice. Story though looks awful. Characters look bad. And the one character that has more or less like more detail added onto them, which I just find just odd, is the samurai Yasuke, the supposed samurai. Why is that when this game is set in like, and I think a lot of people notice that too when it comes to like, for her, she doesn't look like all like rendered all the way. Now when you go to him, he's rendered fully, which I honestly think that's even more of a slap to the face to the people of Japan. Like, it shows that they really don't care. They just focused everything on this. That's where the whole budget went, essentially. It's where the whole budget went. Everything else, nope. You know, and obviously like the landscape. But again, as I said, you can have a beautiful landscape, beautiful scenery, but you can have a shit story and shit characters. You can do that. Vice versa too. You can have fantastic characters, fantastic story, but visually wise might not be the best. But people are probably just going to look right past it. And that's just a fact. How do you think most of us survived playing the earlier games that grew up to how they are nowadays? Like, you know, if you have a good story, good characters, you're going to make it work. You don't have those two, it doesn't matter if you have like all this fancy stuff, fancy shiny toys. If it's not there, it's not going to work. Other thing too, description of the Assassin's Creed Shadows on its Steam page is engaging in damage control only in the JP version. Yeah. And it says right there, Ubisoft describes Assassin's Creed Shadows as a warrior worth 1,000 in Japanese, while in other language is described as a legendary samurai. Yep. Again, as I said, like, Ubisoft is not winning when it comes to this. They're just digging themselves further and further in every day. I don't know how they managed to do that. Like, it's kind of concerning when that happens, when they just, you know, the back to back, you know, to back. Oh, and I forgot, to the other back losses that they keep receiving. And you would think, like, with the risk that they're going on right now, they would be trying to play it very carefully and actually listen to community feedback. But again, as is, you know, how it is with the, you know, DEI embraced gaming studios, it does not pander well in the long run. And it's still there. I don't know, I just find it just like so irritating a little bit, chat, that instead of like, okay, maybe we should really like throw what we're doing out the window so we can keep our studio. But no, dude, they are right there. The ship is going down like a waterfall. Everybody else is jumping off ship, and then this is them. They're just right there. You know, it's like, this waterfall is a joke, and then they just like, you know, like do some cartoon and like logic right there, where they just like put their feet through the wood, both of them, bang bang, and they're like, I will take it, and then the ship just goes off the fucking waterfall. They died. That's essentially what happened. That is what's going on right now. They are just fucking down on it. They are willing to sink down with this ship, and they are going to have their chest puffed out while doing it. And I'm like, no, chat, you know what will happen if Ubisoft were to go under? There's going to be a huge wake-up call to the whole gaming industry. Like, it doesn't matter how far you've gone and how early, because, you know, Ubisoft started kind of like around the same time when DICE and all that was kind of going on. If Ubisoft were to go under, a lot of studios, which I honestly think this is a good thing, but I honestly don't feel like it should have cost an entire well-known game studio that has pushed hundreds, if not thousands, of, you know, IPs at the wall, and a lot of them are really good. You know, Assassin's Creed went back in the day. You know, Tom Clancy, the franchise, all those games, good. but they stopped them because, you know, the crypto that they pushed out didn't sell well, so they are under the assumption that Tom Clancy doesn't sell anymore, which is, you sell fucking crypto, and who's gonna fucking buy that shit? Even the crypto guys didn't even believe that right there, and they fucking embrace crypto. Insane. Absolutely insane. But if it were to collapse, this is gonna, and again, it sucks that it's gonna cost a whole game studio, but these people are gonna realize, like, oh shit, like DICE is gonna be looking at Activision, Activision's gonna be looking at the other studio that's right next to them screen, like they're all gonna be looking at each other like, oh shit, we're fucking dead. When did we start? And then it's like around the same time, we're like, oh fuck, you there, get rid of them. That's essentially what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. I mean, that's what's happening right now. But if a whole game studio were to go up and under, chat, they're really going to go out and clean house, because now it's being felt to their wallets that, you know, they won't be able to sustain themselves anymore. That's going to be it. There's nothing more that they can do. Like, they can't do like, oh, look at this character did a flip. That'll be $60, please. Plus tax, which is 70 now. It's not going to work anymore. It's not working. They have to actually change. They have to change, and they have to do it now. Because Ubisoft is doing what most people logically would not do. I know I wouldn't do that. But they're, you know, I'm just letting them do that. I'm just like, okay, well, if you don't change, you're not gonna own your studio anymore, and you're gonna go bankrupt. Then you're gonna have to sell all your IPs out. That means Assassin's Creed might be made by someone else. God, I hope it's not EA. I think that'll be the worst thing. Assassin's Creed gets bought out by EA. Oh, then for sure, then they're fucked. Because EA is just fucking horrible. There's also something that came out with EA too that I have for you guys in a bit, that I'm gonna probably do in the reaction section sometime in the near future and put it up on YouTube. But we do have it right here though, so we can watch it now. Next, the word samurai that they put. Yep, going back to the more Ubisoft. The word samurai is completely absent from the Steam store except an English blurb where it says EK2. Okay, so chat. I cannot. You know, sometimes I fucking love, like, you know, how people are stupid. I'm not gonna tell you, you know, but it's kind of spicy stuff right there. It's a spicy meatball, chat. I'm trying to do those little hints right there. Ubisoft put the word of a spicy meatball, even though they hate the spicy meatball kind of stuff right there, because you know how they always like to say the, you know, like sexual and all of that stuff. So I'm gonna let you guys do that research. It's kind of spicy stuff right there. I know it's something they're gonna hate. Spicy meatballs. No, not that spicy, but it's gonna be spicy. I believe like, look it up at your own risks is what I would say. Make sure no one's around. It goes to the equivalent of High School DxD. That's why I am telling you guys this right now. They're I don't know how they do this, but it's funny. I honestly feel like they're just doing this. There's actually a gift that I'm actually covering up, but hang on. See, all right. Yeah, there you go. Yep, see, spicy gift right there. That's what I'm telling you. If you remember High School DxD back in the day, that's what they put on their Steam page. Yeah, no, yep, can't make that up. It's insane. God, I really wish I was making that up. I really wish Grums was making it up, but this was just too funny to even like pass up. It was so hilarious that they actually did that. I don't know if they actually fixed it, but I think they're probably fixing it once they looked up the sauce. for the spicy meatball, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's extra spicy." Next, as you guys probably heard, we're going to like, you know, obviously this is not something I do, but I thought this was pretty insane. Chat. Walmart has rebranded their logo to something so spectacular, something so amazing that words cannot describe it. Behold! Yeah, no, it's yeah, no, I was just doing that on purpose right there. They just changed the font, the color scheme, and just from darker blue to brighter yellow. That's all they did. Why? They didn't need to do that, yet they did it anyway. I appreciate that. God, why did they do that? This is probably like the saddest thing I've ever seen. This is just, well, what the fuck is this? And then a lot of people are clowning on it. Mythic changed their logo to Mythic too, so it's the same thing. Like, I don't know who thought of this, but if Walmart spent them $50,000 or more just to do this, to have a guy do this, I want to be that guy. That's like easy money. If you get paid like $50K just for a logo change, just to rebrand, you get paid $50K just for something like this, bro. I'm in the wrong business. I'm in the wrong business. I should be, dude. This was like this is just insane. I love this. God, why are we like this now, chat? Why has it come to this? Next that we have, and this is from Rebel Wolves. This is from the director that brought you The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. So let's just take a little appreciation of this right here. 80, 1340, somewhere in the, I can't even say that. But it does look really nice. Oh my, fire.
Must be here somewhere.
Oh, at least there's text. Yeah, this is from The Witcher right here, chat. This looks really nice. You can feel it has some of that like inspiration that what led up to the Witcher series.
It's all right. Lunka! Don't hurt her! You gave us quite the chase, young. Please, sir. She's just a child! Ah, Roderick, remind me. Did I make an exception for children?
No, sire.
No.
Roderick?
That would have been foolish, would it not? They spread the plague just as well as adults. And there's only one way to stamp out this sickness. No!
Huh.
Not
There was a person
just
right there.
runner, but a fighter too. Had we met under a different moon, things might have ended there.
Vampires. Yeah, vampires, chat. This looks really nice. Oh shit. We got vampires from Panda. Oh cool, warlock. Bro just blew up on his horse with no bomb attached. That's that blood art. There's no tap. Oh, that guy looks like a Mongol.
She needs help, fast. Please, let us pass through. I beg
What did? Oh, I think that was when the bubonic plague, right? Whoa. She's been cured. Wow, I wish we had that.
How? I am life. I am death. I am everything in between. I have been watching your little valley.
Oh.
Pestilence, famine, killing, blood spilled carelessly like water. Things will be different now.
Oh my god.
For all of you.
Alright, that looks pretty cool. The world needs what it fears. Wow, that is... That looks pretty cool. You become a vampire hunter. Well, not vampire. You become a vampire hunting. You know, pretty cool. Feels like it got that Dark Souls like in there too. That's what it looks like. But yeah, it looks really cool. As you can see from me, I kind of like, okay, it's kind of fire, not gonna lie. We definitely need that now. I want that. I really do. The trailer is called Dawnwalker, by the way, chat. The Blood of Dawnwalker. Again, made by the former Witcher 3 director, which is no longer at CDPR. The people who made you that right there, if I remember correctly. That's the CPDR. Yeah. So I think I might actually go into that right there. This one does look pretty cool. Next, we have the reaction channel. I put in some stuff that I just thought was pretty interesting for the rest, just that I saw. But for the first one, we will be going with, and this is from Doom M49. Haven't seen him in a while, but he always covered Battlefield topics, just because unfortunately the franchise is just kind of going downhill. There's still some people on there willing to make content off of previous titles that have been released. The newer one dropped so hard, calling it had a shot from the beginning is just, it really didn't. It really didn't.
So there was some new Battlefield news that dropped by Battlefield Bulletin, and I don't know how to feel about it, because the report is a former ex-DICE dev claims that 98% of the team creating the next Battlefield has not worked on the series' former releases.
Wow,
so
that's not good.
All right, let's see what else he's got to say. He says
so that's already red flag number one right there. I'm gonna be honest with you. That means they don't know how the engine works, which is crazy, because 2042 had no one that knew how the engine, worked when everybody from the old Battlefield team left. Yeah.
The old DICE leadership has already quit, and EA has hired Call of Duty's GM Byron Bede to work to rebuild the franchise. So
I was not expecting Call of Duty to come in to save Battlefield. I was not expecting that in a million years. My God. My God. We're getting saved by COD. Battlefield's getting saved by COD. Oh my God. Dude, tell me that when I'm tell me that like 15 years ago? 10 years ago? Shit, dude, I would not believe you. I would think that you're on something. You need to be locked up. You're definitely on something. My God.
Just to be clear, I'm going to continue reading his name as Byron because I have a hard time reading this last name, and it's also why I have not read this
Byron. I don't know.
To rebuild the franchise. So
I never thought
is it going to be built in the right way or not? I don't know. So if Byron sticks to his vision, we'll get, first off, a full-priced main game with limited single player. Okay. Seasons, battle pass, and live service. So I don't think we're going to be getting the premium
Battlefield
package
3.
that we hope to get
Look
from
at
Battlefield 3
chat.
4. It's going live service, which
Look at
means
that.
limited content and
Back in
fixing
my
the broken
days,
game.
chat, we would
At
do
least this is my
epic
experience
shit
with
like that.
every
Look
single
cool.
live service that's been out there. Who knows?
Oh, man.
Maybe they're going to
Those were
finally
the
not
days.
release broken games and just focus on content purely.
When you
But
and the
regardless,
homies would go over there and
Battle
blow
Pass live
stuff
services, usually you don't really get that much in terms of content, more other than just cosmetics and not really
Man,
maps.
up. I feel
or
old.
weapons, the stuff.
Still
that
looks
you
pretty
really
good.
want. Now, it also goes on to say a free-to-play mode like Warzone. Now,
Ah, shit. Here we go again. Fourth time. Fourth time. Fourth fucking time. 4 times you guys have done this. No, wait. Hang on. So we have Battlefield 5. Okay, so we have 2042, 5. Wow. I want to say there was a third one, right? Or is this the third one? They have Battlefield 5s with the Firestorm. 2042's, you know, other take on it. No, so yeah, no, this one is the third one. 3 fucking times they pushed that shit out on us. And no one still got it. No one really cared.
this part I'm just going to dig into here a little bit. I kind of knew this was already going to happen. No matter how you look at it, how you try to shape it, they were going to go down this path.
Yeah.
Because the way I envision corporations
Oh,
look
dude,
at
that's
things
sad.
is that they see Call of Duty does it well. They see Fortnite does it well. And
You
they
don't-
see a lot of other...
You know, I'm just gonna be honest with you on this right here. Live service games, the was a mistake. I'm gonna be honest with you. Live service games were a mistake. I know some of you guys was like, "Oh, I can't believe you say such a thing. I can't believe you would do this." Chat. The main thing for a live service game is just to make more money. They can literally care less about how everything little stuff that would affect gameplay goes, as long as they put out these amazing skins and all that with battle pass and all that little sorts of shit right there. And there actually is a shakeup going on from this. A lot of people are showing that they're very, very tired of the predatory nature of battle passes, which, yeah, I mean, it makes sense because I kind of remember. I remember I used to buy a game. They tell you this is what you're going to get, like, you know, Battlefield 3 right here. You get Battlefield 3, the base game, or you can buy Battlefield 3 plus the was a season pass that they gave you right there. It was not a season pass, but it was what was it? It was premium, Battlefield Premium, which Battlefield Premium would give you this is what it would give you, a little extra stuff. But so the little extra stuff is just like, oh, you get priority in queue, you get access to a week early with weapons and maps, and then, you know, it's just little stuff that's like, oh, you have a little premium, and then you got premium dog tag too, you know, which if you were to knife somebody, take their dog tag, you get that dog tag to your collection. So just a little bits of other stuff too that you can get. But when you have premium, you buy that and it tells you what you get, as well as 4 expansions, 4 to 5 expansions with probably, like, you know, give or take, like, you know, 5-6 maps on there, average 5, and then, like, you know, 7 to 8, maybe 9 weapons, and like 4 new vehicles added on top of that for that expansion. They don't do that anymore, because they saw how Fortnite and all these other games made money, and people everyone was just like, oh, you know what? Stop sticking with what you're good at. Stop sticking with what you're good at. We're going to do this instead. Even though they've never touched anything like that, you know, but, you know, that's where the money's going. We need to go where the money goes. And I've always said this too, chat. Like, you don't have to be them. Just like what they did in 2042, you don't need to have a second Apex with a different skin on there. Just add extra stuff on Apex, and don't bring that into another franchise that, and this is EA right here, they know exactly, because I've already just, but that's everybody now. Everyone's doing the monkey see, monkey do, because it's working. And people are getting kind of tired with battle passes now, and that's why you see all these single player games you know, that are changing the way how battle passes are defined, and or just embracing the traditional system that I was talking about, how Battlefield 3 had. They were kind of like, okay, here's the roadmap. If you pay extra, like, you know, $30-$40 on top of the base game, you get this, you know, it's essentially, you get your pass and you get little benefits, but you get a secured, you know, you already secured your purchase. Some of them are looking going back into that. To be fair, I'm all right with that, because you know, live service games like that, especially like what Call of Duty does and all that, they get expensive. Also, Call of Duty is a fucking joke, to be fair. You got Nicki Minaj right there. When you kill some guy, she just starts like, you know, twerking in there. I'm like, what the fuck? This was not Call of Duty. This is definitely not Call of Duty. 100% not Call of Duty. Let's get on
indie
with this.
games and so on that had an amazing time creating battle royales, and they're probably scratching their head and thinking, well, why doesn't Battlefield do it? We're going to make a battle royale. I'm assuming they're still going to try at it for the third time in a row.
Third time, yep.
After
I knew it, third time.
in Battlefield 5.
You know what they say, if it fails once, it costs you like $1 million. Try a second time, it'll cost you another few million.
Will they nail it?
Go for
Will
a
they
third
make
time.
a better one? I don't know. If they do nail it, the only way to nail it, in my opinion, is give us a game that's like Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, combined, mixing with the best elements, add in a bit of the cinematic feel of Battlefield 1 with the behemoth crashing, but in this case, it would be an AC-130 crashing into the map.
I would like
give
that.
us the all-out true Battlefield experience.
I'm not
best of each
pre-ordering
game.
it, just to let you know.
And then, after
refuse to do
you've
that.
perfected that formula, all right,
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna let Zentrea actually get into that. I don't think she's gonna get into that, though.
Get crazy with, but just focus on the main game, the bread and butter that we all want. But who knows? Maybe they're going to try all at once, and we'll see what happens. Now, the article continues to say that the EA leadership,
That was a nice landing right
mentioning
there.
all of the names of the corporate EA execs,
Drink some
he
water.
says that the EA leadership are corpos through and through. They want to extract maximum revenue from their players and drive up shareholder value. They make games to make money, not the reverse, which is kind of what I've said. I mean, nowadays corporations, they don't really look at trying to make a game that's fun. They look
just
at a
want
game
the
that
money.
you're
Monkey
gonna
see, monkey
buy
do.
is the main thing they're going for. Now, it continues to say the goal is a new Battlefield game every year. I think EA has a roadmap to achieve this, but
And I'm just going to say this right here. It's one reason why I don't like Call of Duty. Because they make a Call of Duty every year. Chat. You've seen Call of Duty. They barely add anything different. Like, that Call of Duty can last you like probably like 4 to 5 years. Hell, and that's just if they do a half-ass job. If they do a knockoff, if they knock it off the, you know, the ballpark and just send it flying, that game will probably go to 10 years. Hell, like maybe push it a lot, maybe 11 to 12, if they really actually pushed it. But Call of Duty, they just change little bits of stuff, just little bits of stuff that they add in or take away. And usually the stuff that they take away is the stuff that people tend to like. Just like Battlefield. You know, they kind of go like the same type of release schedule, just like them. Which, you know, at least they have, you know, they always change it up with different settings and different themes. The issue with that is just like, it, you know, they're giving up on those titles, just like Battlefield 2042 and 5 recently. You know, those games, they gave up too early. They also pushed it too early too, where those games should have been delayed for another two years at best. And then they just still pushed it out anyway. So I'm not pre-ordering a game from them anymore. I don't want them to be like, oh, look at that. Look, investors. People still love us. No, fuck that. I'm not pre-ordering. If they show it and they do like everything like what Doom is saying right here, I'll buy it a day after. I will buy it a day after. I want to see how many people were gullible enough to actually pre-order for it. Chat, remember, it's 2025. If you pre-order a game, especially digitally, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm just gonna say that. Like, you're pre-ordering I can understand a physical copy. You know, I can understand that because if it's a collector's edition. I can understand that. But you pre-order a digital copy. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to run out of digital copies? Come on. And if you say, but Sin, the pre-order bonuses, no, that's you see that right there? Look, you're going to buy it. You're going to use those pre-order bonuses for like give it half a day, and then you're gonna forget they exist the whole fucking time you play the game. I'm not wrong. Those pre-order bonuses don't do anything. You're gonna see something that probably gonna look a lot more cooler, a lot more badass, and you know, you're gonna want to go after that instead. And it's probably gonna cost money too. It's probably gonna be that. So you're probably gonna get that. So why bother pre-ordering? Because you're just gonna get rid of this stuff anyway. Or you know, like you're gonna use it for like the day or maybe day and a half, and then you're gonna see something that looks a lot more cooler compared to what you have, and you're gonna go after that. And then once you get that, you're just gonna take the pre-order bonus stuff off. Again, if you feel like that you need to pre-order a digital copy just for that reason, you got to look at yourself in the mirror. And if you don't pre-order it and if you pre-order a digital copy just so you can have your, you know, your edition right there, bro, you're acting like they run out of digital editions. I understand physical copies. That right there is a difference. That's a different, you know, subject than that. But I just want to let you guys remember that right there. There's a lot of games that have been putting pre-orders and pre-order bonuses, and then you pre-order the game, you play the game, and then it just doesn't work, or it's just bad. And then you just realize, wow, I put that money down, and I don't like it. Just wait for people to play it. If it looks good, I will buy it, but I will not pre-order it. Even if and you know the other thing they do, oh, you get to play like 2 days early. Oh my god, then everybody else, if you pre-order the game right now. And some of you guys have shown that when you pre-order a game, we will delete the save data and start you over. If you don't know which game I'm talking about, which game that happened to, you are very blessed to not know that. But now that you know that, I do apologize on that. They could be doing some shady stuff like that. But let's get on more with the video.
We won't see the next game in 2026. Now, this kind of makes me wonder, is this talking about the current Battlefield we're expecting when he says
really
2026? Or is that the next Battlefield after the new Battlefield? So what I'm getting at is we're expecting a new Battlefield in 2025. Is he saying that we're not going to see another one in 2026, which is fine by me?
Okay,
I mean, get one in
I gotcha.
2025, maybe 2027. I don't mind if it's a good Battlefield, but we'll see what happens. But again,
I don't mind if it's a good Battlefield.
focusing on it seems that this Dev is really putting on a lot of shade.
$70 you got to play now.
Execs stating that they only care about money, and they've hired, essentially, from what it sounds like he's saying, is the wrong talent. Now, going on to read the rest of it, the article continues to say TT Games is where most of the old Battlefield talent now works. And if you know Embark, then you've probably tried the finals, beautiful product value, and Battlefield-like destruction.
I haven't played the game in a while.
The X-Dice dev also claims this fresh Battlefield
It was a good
team
play.
is working
It's
on
just
the next
that,
title
you know,
following a new philosophy.
I just didn't feel like it was for me.
That's good or bad
Just
depends on your
you know,
personal
movement
outlook.
kind of felt a little kind
What
of
that new philosophy
awkward.
is, I have no idea. My personal opinion on all of this, not great news. Absolutely not great
But
news.
it was
considering
still
this is the year we
visually very
expect to get
nice.
another Battlefield. And
the theme that they had was really good
yeah,
too.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, they had to have learned, like, I don't expect them to be a big corporation that can't figure it out. They had to have learned by now that Battlefield 5 was not what we wanted. Some would argue with this, but let's continue with what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, because it was like, okay, Battlefield 5 was 2 World War II. It was 2 World War
definitely not what we
games. Like, they
want.
could have done
So
a modern one,
clearly,
then World War
we're looking
II.
at a downhill
And
trend
kind of done the
from
continuation
EA.
off of that.
At some point, they got to realize the game that won Game of the Year was Battlefield 3, and Battlefield 4 did pretty well. So just give us a mix of Battlefield 3 and 4 and give that cinematic feel, as I mentioned, with Battlefield 1. It really comes down to that. And I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about all of this and whether
I'm actually
this
okay with
is
that. Like, just imagine
hey,
AC-130 just
maybe
crashes
the
down when
X-Dice
someone
dev is
calls it,
upset and he just
you
wants
know,
to,
for the
like,
one
throw some
site, and then
shade,
you just get
or
like
who
a
knows,
whole, it
maybe
just
we're gonna get
changes it
something
up.
good. Me personally, I'm just gonna wait to see what we actually get.
Could crash
Trailers,
like on
I'm gonna be a
somewhere
little
like
iffy
9
with,
or
because if they were
prevalent
able
in the
to make
map, or could
2042's
crash
trailer
right
look
on your
insanely
objective
good
too,
and
which
hype us
is
up like through the roof and then give us a
that
terrible
would be
game, I
insane.
really don't
You're just right there. It's like,
know what
I'm
to
taking
expect with a
decap.
trailer.
Nothing's going to
But,
stop me now. Wait, what the hell is that?
You know, I'm just gonna be on the wall about this. I don't want to jump the gun and say, yeah, it's over, it's already over. I really don't know, man. I just want to
Just be-
so you
just
guys
be
let me know what you guys
cautious.
think, and drop it in the comments down below. And if you guys enjoyed this type of video, please do drop a like down below and let me know.
That was a good.
Yeah, just let me know what you guys think. This is, I just don't want to have my hopes and dreams destroyed for Battlefield, but who knows? We'll see how it goes.
I kind of agree on that. I do not want something like that to get destroyed too. The fact that, you know, like, yeah, you like, dude, I played this game since like Bad Company 2, I should say. Bad Company 2. I think if Battlefield if they just completely decide, oh yeah, no, we can't make money off of it, like Tom Clancy, it's like, you know, you can say that you know, you're listening, like we tell you like, oh yeah, no, this and this right here, you can listen but not hear. There's a lot of there's a lot of people that do that nowadays, especially where I work. There's a lot of people that say they listen, but they actually never hear what is being said. Like, they can listen but not hear. And for gaming studios, they have proven that they can listen but not hear. Or some of them just flat out say like, oh, we don't care about your opinions. You over toxic. This is a game that a lot of us, you know, it's like, hey, you know, we just want something like this, and then they just take it as like, oh, that's awful. We don't want that in a game, but it's a war game. What the heck do you mean? What do you want? Also, check out Doom 49. You know, he does a lot of these Battlefield gameplays as well as like Battlefield War FPS games like this right here. So if you are interested, you know, like, give him a check out, you know, give him a like right there, you know. But he's still one of the OGs that I still follow. Actually, we'll go with this one first. Next, in the reaction section, we have What Culture Gaming. If you didn't hear about Suicide Squad Kills Justice League, it's currently on PlayStation and it's free, and I hate it because it looks awful. This is the thanks that we get for making their game a game of the year. You give us this horrible piece of shit. So let's go on with the colossal waste of time, which is Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League.
Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League's final season has concluded, and the results are somehow even worse than anything we'd endured to this point. Josh Brown, we're going to break this stuff down. Spoilers for the Arkhamverse and Suicide Squad's now entire story. But turns out the evil Justice League were clones all along.
You know what? I kind of...
Wow, that's just lazy writing right there, if you ask me.
Like many people, saw this retcon, I suppose, coming, and I was so in denial, and I didn't want it to be true, because I just feel like this little bow on the end of the Suicide Squad story.
Chat, hang on. Do you guys remember that one thing from like the cinematic? Who's that one guy that does these animated like shorts of like how it should have gone? That's what it is, or how it should have ended. He always does the reoccurring joke right there where, like, you know, when they had the Avengers, you know, Infinity War, where everyone got snapped out. Superman got snapped out from the diner. Everybody else got snapped out. Nick Fury from over the window of that cafe got snapped out. And then Batman was at risk of getting snapped out. Bro literally just started screaming, because I'm Batman. And it just, like, avoids the snap. And I'm like, huh? Like, dude, he dies and then comes back, like, from how it should have ended, like, constantly. And it's just for a few words, because I'm Batman. Bruh. They literally fucking did that. What a fucking waste of time. Dude. Story building, Batman dies, a lot of plot goes out, and then, because I'm Batman. Because I'm Batman. I'm Batman.
I mean, to many people, it will be a plus because it means like you don't really have to take that story seriously anymore.
Yeah.
It means
Because
that
I'm
the
Batman.
characters that you like the Arkham version of Batman, are not really dead. But it just makes Suicide Squad a completely pointless endeavor in my mind because it's like
It's a joke.
You are not living up to your.
Dude, it's just like that one thing that I said, that how it should have ended. You know, it's a joke because it's funny, and they have all these little comedic stuff in there, and you're just like, well, that was just a waste of time. It could, it could have just gone like this, and then we could have just skipped it. That's the whole purpose of it. It's supposed to be funny. This one was, so they essentially blew, was it $200 million for a cheaper, more stupider knockoff of how it should have ended on YouTube, like the animated ones they do. Bruh. Wow, that was a waste of time.
Your title then, are you? But then maybe
Superman.
it shouldn't have with a story like this anyway, because the story, even in the main game, was not
but-
good.
but-
Godford.
I want to bring a few more details
But
and then we'll
I
get
shot
back
you.
to
It's
yeah,
because
just
of
what
Batman.
purely just opinion based. What a colossal waste of everyone's time this entire thing has been. Only in my opinion. We'll see what happens down in the comments. I want to see what you think of the whole thing. But I can't fathom the human cost of this.
I know what you
Genuinely,
mean, yeah.
On the development side, the art department, the creative side, the
You know what? I'm just gonna say this right now. You know, like how I told you guys, like, live service games and all that, and yada yada yada. If this wasn't like a live service game and it just had all of this already put in there, I think a lot of less people would be upset, and it wasn't going out the way it did, because then they got the whole story instead of waiting for months, and the player count goes down so fucking far down that the fact that even Satan himself called up here and saying, "What the fuck? Why does this shit keep coming down? It's even going to my basement. What the fuck?" That's how far it went down. That's how far it went down. They could have just like done the full game right there with this ending, and I think a lot more people would be like, "Oh, okay, well, that was an interesting little short gameplay right there, and that would have been all right, and that probably would have cost like less money to do, and not add in like DLC. I honestly feel like this should have been just like a one ship, like essentially ship everything out in one go, and not cost $200 million, because I honestly feel like with how everything was animated, how it was made, I don't think it cost anywhere near that much. If you have 50 people worrying about one character design right there, you are obviously insane. You have 25 people working on like just a half, like on one arm for one of the fists for Batman. You are insane. I'm sorry, like, you don't need to have that many people. You can have one person make the designs, do the modeling, because then they get to put that on there because they got the character design and how it's going to work and how they look, and this is what they feel like the player base would like, Okay, but $200 million. All right.
length of time it was in
poor Warner
development, the
Bros,
fact
bro.
that Rocksteady are a shell of their former selves. They've had a whole bunch of layoffs. I'm going to get back to that stuff because of how much
I really-
the game
we
bombed. And
really
if you
should
think
go
of the
back,
money side of it, it lost Warner Brothers
see those
$200
games right there. They
million,
talked about the old Batman Arkham Knight series right there.
So, like I said, they're clones all along. People who were playing Suicide Squad to this point already cottoned onto that because there were two other characters, Flash and Green Lantern, that you saved, that you found they were ostensibly clones for them, but I don't think they'd spelt it out as much as this.
Yeah.
Whereas in this final one, the final scene to Kill the Justice League comes across in a motion comic cutscene with Harley Quinn doing the voiceover. The only go-to assumption is that Rocksteady, like I said, are a shell of their former selves, aren't able to devote the necessary funds to be able to do a proper cinematic cutscene,
So
3D
lazy
motion
writing.
capture or whatever it is. Harley even does the voices for Batman and Superman, which
Lazy writing.
I thought that was pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
Again,
whatever.
lazy writing.
And so, like you said, well,
I don't want to sound like a broken record, but that's what it is.
All told, Arkhamverse, Batman didn't die, even though there was that really controversial scene at the end, last year that everyone got hung
Because
up
he's
on
Batman.
in terms of the way that
Batman
they were
don't die,
potentially
bro.
handling Kevin Conroy's final performance. you've got all that stuff. Everything about the Arkhamverse can now just continue as if nothing happened. Actual Wonder Woman is dead, though, because she was never turned in the first place. She gets killed by the now cloned Superman. So at least when we're talking about Arkhamverse versions of these characters, which in theory, and oh my god, this stuff is exhausting. In theory,
it's Batman.
There's going to be one unified timeline going
covered.
forward. According to Warner Brothers, it was all going to be one version of a character, one version of a mythos going forward. But the Wonder Woman game is still in production from Monolith, another Warner Brothers studio. However, I wanted to throw in that regard, last June in 2024, kind of funny is Greg Miller saying he was talking to members of Monolith about how much of an absolute fire that game's development is. Referred to it as being troubled, and said he wouldn't be surprised if the studio got shut down. He said, WTF do Warner Brothers even want to do with these characters?
Wow, okay.
Greg Miller, not someone to go in on stuff, but very much was quite clear about that.
That's just
we'll get back to
sad.
the Suicide Squad stuff, but thoughts on all this so far?
This is probably like the saddest adventure that everyone's been on.
Here, Scott. I mean, I can't believe
the,
that
like the 20 people who still played this, 80 people. I don't know how many people
but I
still
can't
play
believe
this
that they
game.
gave the Brainiac and the cloned superheroes of this story the Poochie died on the way to his home planet treatment and just said, don't worry about it. It's actually so sound. They were just clones. The 13 Brainiacs are dead. Don't worry about it.
There's a
We're sweeping
line
it under the rug.
There's a line in here as well where Harley says it's in Batman's voice that like, oh, the criminals, the Suicide Squad did well following his plan.
Yeah.
So his plan was to get captured and then cloned and for loads of Gothamites, loads of those people to die. And for all this to play out, that's standard, that little one-line thing of, it's always Batman's plan, as if that's going to do right by everything.
Look, I get it. Like you said there have been reports. I think there was a Bloomberg report last year where I think it was Jason Schreier said that this team, the Rocksteady team, obviously this is not how they planned to release these 4 seasons of story updates. They probably would not have envisioned when they set out creating Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, to end the entire thing on this motion comic in such a fashion like this, just quickly wrapping up plot points. But this is the risk that you take, right? When you go in on a live service, that roadmap that you have on day one is never locked in place, or at least it is never guaranteed to come to fruition the way that you might have wanted it to if you're a developer. We've seen that time and time again. You look at something like Anthem with Anthem 2.0, that was promised to be coming, and then they decided to scrap it.
I think this is probably like the waste of money right here, 100%.
Season pass eventually coming out because
I wonder how they feel.
promised it. They need to deliver something. We knew there were going to be 4 seasons of Suicide Squad
just
before the
wasting
game even launched. So
Warner Brothers
they need
money.
to deliver it in some form. But if the game doesn't sell day one, the publishers aren't going to want to put the money in to support it to the level that maybe was envisioned. However, that said, the way that Suicide Squad kills the Justice League ends before season 1, and you get all of that extra story stuff. That is Rocksteady seemingly
Thank God it's
firing on
over.
all cylinders
That's all I'm
with
gonna
the
say.
amount of money that they needed to make that game. And that is bad as well. So I think even if this story was presented in the way that it was originally intended to,
Sorry, I
it still
closed my eyes
wouldn't
right there
have been
because,
good.
like,
It
dude,
just makes that
people are
original
such,
ending
like,
so much
you
worse.
know, I'm sorry, but they're like
and
oh
spoilers
my God,
for that. But
it's crazy that
game,
people are always
it
talking
has
about
some
like
high
Batman
points in
Arkham
terms
Knight,
of
like,
the
oh
cinematics,
dude, this
but
is like the
absolute
best game,
dirt
and then
worst
just
is the
how
ending
they
of it,
just
where
handle.
it is
Then
completely
again,
unfinished.
it's
It
different
does just
people.
kind of render the
Fortunately, it
stakes
is
that
different
have been
people,
built
so
up
you know it's
previously
not like
null,
anything to do
and
on
it
that
sets
right
you
now.
out on this live service quest to again track down those 13
it's gonna happen
Brainiacs
everywhere.
across different multiverses. So to have there not be a proper ending to the base game, and then to have the ending that wraps it all up in this post-release content be so bad, it kind of it makes the original, which was already pretty bad, like worse than it was.
Yeah, it's like you kind of need this
no.
extra content.
It's
It
like,
literally
I
is
don't know.
content. You need
I feel
this
like just
extra
watching this
goomph
sometimes
to
gives
go
me a
through to
headache.
get
I'm like,
something
dude,
of
are
a-
you
a
guys
more
really going to be
positive,
wasting $200
finale.
million?
Because the actual note that it ends on, if you're a Suicide Squad fan, I guess is fun enough. Like the idea of the squad escaping Amanda Waller, commandeering a ship, going off into the Elseworlds, all these different universes.
Wonder
or whatever.
Woman's dead.
And that would be their sequel tag. But Amanda Waller gets to have Brainiac and the rest. That
Yeah,
there's
Wonder Woman is
Harley
dead.
says, "Oh, it's a happy ending for all," and it's like that would if Suicide Squad ever worked. I
So are
maintain
they
this
just
was
gonna,
never it.
you know,
in 2016,
phone her
it was
back?
always Warner Brothers trying to have their Guardians of the Galaxy, and it never landed the right way. And
Yeah,
the
so I feel like they
2016
should
movie was
phone her
hacked to
back.
death. David Ayer's version hacked to death by the marketing department. That thing actually did do quite well at the box office, but then word of mouth was so sour, and then it took them forever. James Gunn's version, like. Really, really bad. I want to throw in some of the history because you were mentioning, like, the original vision of the game and the reality of the development and the Jason Schreier report. We do know from Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, which the report happened last year, talking to members of Rocksteady under anonymity, that development was an absolute mess with Warner Brothers higher-ups and even Rocksteady higher-ups, including Sefton Hill, who I think is one of the founders of Rocksteady, and Jamie Walker, who have now left
So trying to
Rocksteady.
get
They
this
left
like
in the middle of this
recentered right
thing,
here.
which when I did the report last year, I just referred to them as abandoning ship, which is one of the only ways that you can look at it, especially if you're a member of that team. Sefton Hill, Jamie Walker, but especially Sefton Hill, is name dropped in the report as someone who just could not decide what the hell the game was supposed to be. Apparently, he would be unavailable.
It's crazy
for weeks on
that
end
they have
when
all these
members of
mechanics in here,
different
and
teams
it's like,
were looking to him to be like, what the hell are we supposed to be doing with
I
this
don't know.
game?
I just feel like it's pretty
alongside
mad.
that, you had Warner Brothers executives thinking the game would be $1 billion IP, would be $1 billion franchise, $1 billion game. Obviously, that
I'm just gonna say this right here. Oh my god, like the fact that they're overhyped this, like they overhyped it. That's the part that kind of annoys me right there. Like they really overhyped that shit like so fucking much. That's why I fucking hate that. Like on a lot of games now, they always do that. They're like, oh, well, look at this thing costs like, oh, look at it's judging by how it's gone and all that sort of stuff. Oh, I give the educated guess right there. It's gonna be like $200 million. So we gotta make it to $400 billion. Like, oh, okay, yeah, man, that makes sense. The math don't math up, chat. That's what I'm trying to say. The math no mathing up. Why is the math not mathing up? I don't know. Ask them, because obviously they knew what they were fucking doing with that. Oh my god, dude. I don't like I want to say I think someone else talked about this too, but I honestly forgot who. Like, just like I want to say it was like Asmongold though. I want to say it was him, but I might be wrong. I want to say it was him. Let me just lower this down just a smudge right here, because I think the camera's like dirty right now, so I might have to fix that later on. I haven't really cleaned the camera though, so that might be the issue why it's not like picking up. But like, dude, the fact that they waste so much fucking time, so much fucking money, and then they say, oh yeah, no, like, oh, like, ooh, it's like, this is what's going to be because the IP is already well known, and it's like, that doesn't help. That doesn't fucking help, man. Like, they could make it with like what they have. That's the part that kills me. How come they don't do that? How come they don't just try to... Okay, but like, just continue on with the video.
that wasn't the case.
It's just
talk about Rocksteady
mind-boggling
overall,
that they
because
do
I
this
think
shit.
a lot of the elephant in the room stuff is like, how do you go from Arkham Knight and then a 9-year wait and then Suicide Squad? They were working on a multiplayer game back in 2016. Apparently, once Arkham Knight was done, they wanted to do something different anyway. And a very early version of Suicide Squad was a more melee-based multiplayer game. But in 2016, they were working on something that was codenamed Stones. It wasn't the Suicide Squad game. It was just a multiplayer game. But then when the 2016 movie blew up, that then became the Suicide Squad game. Yeah. And then over time, it became this Arkhamverse time or whatever.
Oh my god, dude, yeah, the Suicide
Whilst there were all
Squad.
those pressures from Warner
God.
Brothers, the idea of focusing on DC and Batman,
I still don't like
so it
Suicide
just
Squad.
is one of those
like,
corporate
the
cluster
movie.
Fs that rolled out slowly for 9 years.
Yeah, it feels like
I don't know,
everything went
I just didn't feel
wrong
like
for
that
this
was like,
project at
something
every
for me right
single
there.
stage of
Also, I
production.
just
Like you
noticed,
said
I think
there,
my model
the
moved a
idea
little
of
bit more.
Warner Brothers wanting a Suicide
Oh,
Squad
no, my
thing
model
to release
moved.
to gamers, that seems to have come first, because we know
probably when I
that
was trying to
WB
fix
Montreal was originally
the tracking
working on a
earlier.
Suicide Squad game, then they were taken
I
off
was
it,
in the middle
then
of
they probably
right
was
there,
given
'cause I
to
was just like, dude, I
Rocksteady,
need a
so
fidget with
it felt
something
like
'cause
they
it's
were
getting
just
on my
wanted
nerves.
a version of this, because like you said, they thought it was going to be this
that's not
billion-dollar
good.
thing. And I think it could have been if
Billion-dollar
they,
colossal waste of
landed on a
time.
model and a style
Eventually
of
did
gameplay that
what I
fans
said,
actually
the,
liked, like they did with the
how it should have
Arkham
ended.
games as
Those
well.
people-
And
actually,
yeah,
hang on,
even
dude.
internally
See if I can
from
find them.
Rocksteady,
Yeah.
I know that there were a lot of reports saying that this live service thing wasn't forced on them.
If my mouse can
which,
connect them.
for me personally, and this I don't know anything deeper, but I find that to be probably technically true, but it's also to me on the same wavelength of crunch not being mandatory. It's like sort of an ultimatum in a way. It's sort of like a lose-lose situation. I imagine in just knowing what we know from Warner Brothers and their pursuit of these billion-dollar franchises and their pursuit of live service and their pursuit
And again, so many live service
like
games.
champion of that recurring spend. I mean, they don't need to force
It's like,
a studio
dude, just stop
into
with the
doing
live service
something,
everywhere.
but
It's
they
like
can
getting
say,
so annoying.
Hey,
Like,
yeah, you can make
I can't even tell the difference of one game to another one anymore now because they both have live service. There's like nothing individual about them that sets them apart from the others.
Who knows?
It's just a
we can't
fucking
promise you
joke now.
anything to going forward. And I feel like that's how a lot of these decisions are ultimately made, where you give someone the. I'm just basing this off the Blizzard book, by the way.
I mean, I'm not wrong. Like,
Jason
guys,
Schreier wrote, where there are a lot of similar
how many games do you guys have
executives not outright saying, we need
live
you to do
service?
this, but saying that, well, our projections for you are this, and you need
Exactly.
to hit it however you
Lots
want.
of them.
You
Yeah,
kind
how
of
else are you
guess.
gonna get
Exactly.
them?
The developers end up just trying to do it because they're getting
I don't know
this
why, like,
pressure,
it's-
even if it isn't like
Just need to go back to the
outright,
old system.
we are
I think
in
that was probably
charge,
the best
you need
system
to
right
give us
there.
X product by
I mean,
X
you can
time.
have
Yeah, there was a
battle
whole
pass,
thing last year as
you know,
well where
games,
one of the
but
members of Warner Brothers, I think it was someone Pereira,
if you
I
do
forget
it
the full
everywhere,
name of that individual, but there was a
it's just gonna get
press
so fucking
conference, a general
annoying.
sort of earnings conference statement thing. Very vague there, but you know what I mean? I did a whole report on it last year, but I just remember the quote about they want players to work and live in these different game
Yeah.
worlds. And that's all about repeat monetization, trying to get you to spend over and over and over again.
Also, the character
and it is
designs
that
on
thing,
there
and we
look
talk about it all
pretty
the time,
meh.
about just how, money blind a lot of corporate executive decisions are, or shareholder decisions, or just that idea of the fans will put up with it. Just design this set of frameworks, apply all the price tags, and the fans, these nebulous fans, will put up
I
with
don't know
anything.
if it's just me,
will get
chat.
stuck in and make all the
I
money
honestly
over
feel
and
like
over
the
and over
designs
again.
are pretty meh.
But yeah, like we said at the beginning, or you said at the beginning, there's that whole idea of like,
Pretty
what
meh.
was this even for? If you
Yeah.
do the clone angle, the only remote lasting thing of this is that Wonder Woman stays dead.
And you know what? I am actually pleased
Now,
that they
like,
committed to
the Justice
that, at
League,
least,
though, they
because
made them
for
look
me, by
now.
far, the best
You know,
part of the
okay,
Suicide Squad
just
story and
designs.
game in general.
They would have changed something
it's
kind of
those
like
Wonder
showing
Woman
them apart,
moments,
but
like,
you know, I
for me, I
obviously
said this in the
there's not
review
much
way
they
back
could do.
when, but every time Wonder Woman was on screen and she was, grappling with Superman or what have you, I was just thinking, I want to be playing that game.
Right.
That actually looks so fun. The stakes are clearly defined. The emotion is there. That battle between Wonder Woman and Superman, it's great.
Like former friends.
Yeah. Her death, it works. Like that dramatic arc just feels like
Dude,
it should have been
and the fact that
focus.
they have
You
a
should
game
have been
coming out,
playing that,
and
and
now
it
she's
feels
dead.
like while that is happening,
How's
you're
that
the
work?
Suicide Squad doing all of the
The
busy
math-
work,
the
doing
math,
all of
chat,
the crap
the
tasks no
math,
one else
oh
wants
God,
to
the
do,
math.
and that's kind of really frustrating. But yeah, overall, I mean, going forward, the rumors suggest that we're going to get a new Arkham game from Rocksteady. It's going to be a return.
probably
to their
never going to
roots.
get another
I
one
kind of, I
after
don't even
this,
think
'cause
they
they're
should
gonna-
acknowledge
they're
this
gonna go
overall.
bankrupt.
Just sweep it under the rug. You're already playing around with so many different multiverses and whatnot. You've now introduced clones. You've already,
I forgot about that. They had the multiverse arc.
Theoretically ignore it. And
I completely forgot about the clone thing. Like, chat, I didn't want to play the game because people were saying it was very bad. It was so bad that their player numbers only went up like, okay, so it only went up just like a little bit, but not something like, oh, that's a lot. It was just like, it was like, what, like 50 people, 150 people came on, and that was it. Just had it, and so it had that spike of 150 people, then it went back down to where it was, and then it actually went down even lower than that. What the fuck, dude? Yeah. I honestly feel like Rocksteady, they're probably not going to be in business anymore. Like, them making another Batman Arkham Knight, I do not see in the foreseeable future. Now, fingers crossed, maybe they realize, oh, this was like the worst mistake that we've ever done. We probably should not do this again. I'm just going to put the example. You could be like a Ubisoft right now. Ubisoft is the first major studio that is well known that is going to be bought by the investors. And probably all the IPs that they had, if they can get some of their money back, will be sold. And all of the people who worked on those games are going to be jobless. Heard maidenless? We're going to call them jobless now.
Say, actually, don't worry about
And-
it. We're
and
picking up where we
maidenless.
left off if they want to.
And
Or we're doing
grassless.
something
They
brand
didn't touch
new.
grass.
You've got multiverses there. So the idea of multiverses, by the way, not the
I
game
forgot about the multiverse
multiverses
because the
via
writing
Warner
was
also
Brothers.
bomb.
stupid.
Also Warner Brothers bomb, yeah. The reality of the Wonder Woman stuff I think is interesting because again last year there was a hiring call put out for the Wonder Woman game to work at Monolith, for someone that would know live service mechanics. It seems
she's
like
dead, though.
the
What do
Wonder
you
Woman game
mean,
is also in
man?
itself going to have repeat monetization, which is the overall thing that Warner Brothers want. Again, can you take a pocket of Wonder Woman fans and repeatedly monetize them over and over again? But we've not seen anything of the Wonder Woman game in years.
You know, I honestly feel like she might come back. Hang on, let me see if I can find that one. It's because it's that one that's like because I'm Batman. Hang on, let me go on YouTube, and you guys are gonna know who it is. I think it was because of Batman. Hang on, I can't even spell. Because I'm Batman. See if I can find them. There we go. See?
I love you.
No,
This is my world.
no, Clark, you can't.
You are my world.
See?
It's so cliche.
So
Don't
stupid
fight
right
the
here.
monster.
Oh, look, there's Wonder Woman. She lives.
All right, Chubbs, let's do this.
Yeah, it just pops out of nowhere. Yeah. Yeah, no. Oh yeah, here we go. This is the one. Batman survived the Thanos snap. See, look, that's essentially what these people were trying to do. See?
I thought Ant-Man and Wasp would have been here by now.
What the heck was that?
Nick Fury just turned to dust in front of our window. We gotta do something.
Bruce?
See?
This is different.
What the? Cal, speak to me. What's going on? Oh no. Oh no. Not today. Because I'm Batman!
Bruh.
I will avenge you, Superman. I mean, I will unite the League. You, Superman. Oh, never mind. His dust is rising. He'll be back.
See, I told you. It's just something so stupid, pointless like that. Like, what the fuck, man? That is essentially how this fucking went. I mean, they could have done something like that where it could have been like stupid and funny, and not costly, dude. That's the big thing. It's not costly, but it made it costly anyway. Like they could have done that. That right there was funny.
Is now.
No.
Because
And
of
so
Batman.
it is that question,
Chat.
especially after this.
That's
of
how you
is it-
survive
Is it meant to be the
getting
same
Thanos
one? Is
snaps.
it meant to be the same Diana? Or is the?
You're welcome.
Does anyone even care? Like, oh my god, it's 2025.
It depends, man. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with still using these franchises. You know,
Yeah.
I think they can't just expect people to buy a game because it
of
is
Batman
within a
chat.
beloved franchise. Sorry, tripping over all of my words this morning. But you know, like a Wonder Woman game, that sounds cool from Monolith. That sounds
like the
really cool.
Wonder Woman game, but
if
we're
they
not
can
gonna get that, aren't
incorporate
we?
some of the elements that they introduced in the Middle Earth games, excellent. That is
I love
another,
Middle-earth.
for instance, series that I never
I also
thought
like
I
Inner
wanted.
Earth
You know,
and Outer
did I
Earth,
want
and
a
then just
new
Earth
Middle
as a
Earth
whole.
game that's an open world Ubisoft style title? I didn't think so, and then we got the Shadow of Mordor, and we got the Nemesis system, and it was really, really good, better than anyone expected. So it's not the brand that I think I'm personally over. I'm just over the mismanagement of all of these different studios, because at this point, yes, okay, maybe there are issues internally with the developers themselves, but you look at Warner Brothers'
I was trying to
slate,
hold
and
that
so
sneeze right
much of
there.
it has just been outright mismanaged and outright bad. Like
Might be getting windy
Arkham
tonight,
Origins is
though.
a great game, and Gotham Knights has its, you know,
Has its moments,
has
goddammit.
its moments. It really does,
I like that
but
thing.
you feel like that team that made Arkham Origins with Gotham Knights, they could have done something more. Why did that turn out the way that it did with all of its issues? Why did Rocksteady go from Arkham Knight to Suicide Squad? How is
That's a good
NetherRealm now
question
in a
right there. We should
situation
have
where they
the
have to just keep
consultants
making
that
Mortal
they
Kombat
hired.
games with
That
increasingly
might help.
dodgy monetization?
That actually
and
might
they
help.
can't even, you know, live up to some of their promises that they made when they launched something like Mortal Kombat 1, right? Like, what's happening with all of these studios under WB?
Only bad. I forgot about how disastrous the Mortal Kombat stuff was. We did a report on that at the tail end of last year. Yeah, that fact, the whole thing with WB being like, oh, we're going to narrow it down to 4 pillars, like Harry Potter, DC / Batman, Game of Thrones, and
One
Wait, they have Game of Thrones? I thought that was HBO. Wait, is it? They have Game of Thrones? I don't believe you. Wait. Unless no, like Game of Thrones like HBO though, right? Like that they own that. Wait, hang on. I'm curious. Like no, they're like their own thing, right? Hang on. Game of Thrones. I'm gonna check that really quick. Game of Thrones. I honestly don't. Game of Thrones. It is. Is it? No, see, look, no, it's not. Okay, so it says no, Game of Thrones is not owned by Warner Brothers, but it's development at Warner Brothers HBO, which is so it's it's kinda not, but kinda is at the same time. That's why I was like, no, like dude, I fucking knew that right there. I was like, no. And the funny part is, chat, I don't even watch that. And I knew that. I was like, no, wait, hang on. So, false.
One more that I'm blanking on, but the idea being that you would focus everything on these 4 key pillar franchises and then run them into the ground. Mortal Kombat is in the worst state it's been since the entire thing almost went under at the end of the 2000s.
I forgot about Game of...
But yeah, we can pretty much
no, actually, I do remember Mortal
I'm sure
Kombat.
more information comes out. I'm sure there'll be more.
I remember when my
workers,
friend's little
developers on
sister
the
kicked my
teams,
ass
that
on
get
there,
out
and I
and
thought
say,
it
"Look,
was him.
you've got no
And I
idea
thought he was
how
being
many,
easy on me,
like,
and then I died a
ridiculous
bit
conversations
inside
we
that
had
day.
trying to bring this thing together.
When I had to go back to
lost
school.
Warner Brothers $200 million. Rocksteady have sadly suffered
When I was in high
multiple
school.
bouts of layoffs, including the leaving.
She
of
was
some of the
like,
heads
"Oh,
of the
I saw you were
studio that in
playing. You
themselves
know,
were
I
responsible for
decided
the
to go
Arkham
on
trilogy
after
in
he
the
went to go
first
to the
place,
bathroom, and I
or the
hop
quadrilogy.
on."
And even Warner Brothers Montreal
I was
lost some
wondering why he
staff
was
as well.
fucking
Who
quiet.
were responsible for they were like a support studio on Suicide Squad. But like you
Got
said,
my
they were
ass
mainly responsible for
handed
Gotham
to me
Knights
by a
and
little
Origins and
girl,
stuff.
chat.
So just
Let
like I
that
said,
sink in.
all around a colossal waste of
I
everyone's
did
time.
not- I did not
kinda can't believe
emotionally
it,
recover
but
from
hopefully it's
that.
finally done.
I did not. Oh god. But yeah, no, like Mortal Kombat's been going down. That's crazy that Warner Brothers is not having a good time, but Disney's not having a good time either. So it was like, man, actually, I think no one's having a good time. I'm just gonna say this right now. This is essentially like 2020 season 6. You are welcome for that information right there that I did not know if you wanted to have, but you're welcome. I do not recommend it. Next, we have something that I kind of thought that was pretty interesting right there, which, as of today, of the 1st of January, 19th of 2025, we are entering the quantum apocalypse. I'm pretty sure not a lot of you guys know that, but you are welcome. The end is here. Season 6. Let's go.
This episode of the Y-Files is brought to you by Ground News. It's human nature to keep secrets.
Hello,
Throughout
Mr.
history, we've made
Mr.
complex codes to hide our
Mr.
secrets. Most codes are eventually cracked,
My brain
but
turned
not
off.
all of them. The Voynich manuscript is a book filled with drawings and symbols nobody can read. The Beale ciphers point to hidden treasure, if someone
Treasure?
could decode them. There are entire ancient languages we can't understand because they're encrypted. Encryption can be simple.
To be fair, some of those languages are made by me. Even I don't even understand what the hell I wrote. I know I took some catnip. I forgot which one it was, though. It was very good catnip. Don't tell Mama Spooky. She'll get angry
Either
at me.
way, it's just running a message through a series of mathematical rules.
It was chat. Chat gave it
For
to me.
decades,
I synced
even
it.
centuries,
I synced it with my own
some
eyes.
codes use mathematical rules that remain unbreakable. But they're about to be challenged by something new. Machines that don't care about math and don't follow any rules.
I'm like my own rules. I like that way of thinking. Actually, wait, it's coming from a machine, right? You know what? I don't like that way of thinking.
If he doesn't pick up this time, I am replacing his
All right, cool. We're just gonna skip that. There you go.
Dad, instead of a flamethrower?
Well, yes, because ground news is actually helpful. Compare coverage, think critically, and
Was that? You're cutting out.
There we go. So let's just skip that. This is going to be the theory right here of, or not theory. This is going to be essentially how it kind of
Kate
goes.
Bryce's morning started like any other. Her smart home system woke her at 6 a.m. with her usual playlist.
I don't
the
like
coffee
that.
maker fired up. Her iPhone read her schedule while she brushed her teeth.
I don't like
Normal,
that.
Routine. She opened her banking app. Something was wrong. Her balance was 0.
Ha! Fool, your account got hacked. I have my bank in my bed under my bed. Wait, I just told chat that. Fuck. Chat, I have to find a new bank.
She blinked and checked again. Her balance was back. Just a temporary error, she thought. She took a sip of coffee and nearly dropped her
Damn.
mug.
Man, is it me? She's more attractive now. She's got like
The smart speaker was playing
$90,000.
someone else's conversation. A couple fighting about credit card debt. She unplugged it.
Oh no, she's lost her mind.
Then her smart TV started cycling through her photos. Private photos.
No, they're not
intimate
safe for
photos.
work
She pulled the
photos.
plug. And then her phone rang. Then she heard the sirens.
Terminator. That's how Terminator starts, chat. You're fucking welcome.
The oldest code we know of isn't written in complex mathematics. It's carved in stone, in an Egyptian tomb from 4,000 years ago. The scribes simply
4,000
replaced
years ago,
regular
I remember
hieroglyphs
I was
with ones
making
they made
stones
up.
for them.
They weren't trying to keep secrets, they were showing off. These were prayers carved into tomb walls. The scribes wanted to prove they knew something others didn't.
Oh, those were ancient emojis.
Not exactly.
Let's test the theory. Can humans crack this?
Fish
The
smarter
simple
than,
act of
than man.
substituting one symbol for another unleashed something. The human desire to keep secrets. And for thousands of years, that's how codes worked. You'd replace letters with other letters or symbols. Linear
Oh.
A is a secret writing system created by the Minoans in ancient Crete 3,600 years ago. We can read its descendant, Linear B, but Linear A is still secret. Every attempt to crack it has failed. The Spartans made practical use of codes.
This is cryptography!
Please don't.
Too late. I already ordered the tunic and the cape. Now I just need the abs.
Can I get back to this?
Look ahead. I need to
the
catch up on
abs.
my sit-ups anyway.
The Spartans created the skidly. Here's how it works. Picture a wooden rod about as
I
thick as your
remember
wrist.
that.
Rod.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Now wrap a strip of leather or parchment around it like a spiral. Write your
Rod.
message across the strip, following the spiral. When you unwrap it, the letters scramble. The message is nonsense. But wrap it around another rod exactly the same size, and the message reappears. This is called a transposition cipher. You're not changing the letters, you're just moving them around. Julius Caesar
Oh.
encoded all his military correspondence by shifting each letter in the alphabet by 3 spaces. A becomes D, B becomes E, and so on. When you hit Z, you loop back to A. This is
that's
called
the
a shift
Caesar
cipher or
cipher,
Caesar
right?
cipher. The
I
key
knew
is
that
knowing
one.
how many spaces to shift. Caesar used 3, but you can use any number.
I
His enemies
remember
never
that
cracked
one.
it.
Actually, I remember hearing something about that.
In the 1820s,
Don't ask me how I
Thomas
knew that.
Beale used a book cipher to hide the location of millions of dollars of buried treasure. And here's how it works.
Money?
First, pick a book. Any book. Then you replace each word in your message with a number. That number tells you which word to use from your chosen book. Count down to the 5th word on
Oh.
page 1, and that's your first word. Maybe the 19th word on page 2 is your second word, and so on. Beale used the Declaration of Independence.
Nicolas Cage has entered the chat.
What?
When someone finally figured that out in 1885, they cracked one of his 3 messages. The treasure is somewhere in Bedford County, Virginia, but the other 2 messages? Still locked, because we don't know which books he used. Every year, thousands of people try to crack the Beale ciphers to find the treasure, and every year they fail.
Aww.
The Zodiac Killer was also ahead of his time.
Well, to be fair, in this day and age where people are just like constantly digging in the ground, making houses, I'm pretty sure someone's going to find it. And then they're going to be like, wait a minute. Oh, shit.
He encoded a
And then
message
they
using
find
a
it.
homophonic substitution cipher using 408 different symbols. Instead of replacing each letter
Oh,
with just
yeah.
one symbol,
That one's
you replace it
creepy.
with several different ones. The letter E might become 3 or 7 or some symbol. Nobody knows. This makes the code much harder to break because you can't use frequency analysis. In normal English, E is the most common letter, but if you split it between multiple symbols, that pattern disappears. For 51 years, the Zodiac's message stumped the world's best cryptographers. Then in 2020, 3 amateur codebreakers finally solved it.
What'd it say?
Well, it said a bunch of stuff, but it started with, "I like killing people because it's so much fun."
Yeah, for a serial killer, he wasn't much of a poet.
He wasn't. And the Zodiac Killer was never found. But quantum computers are about to change everything. All these ancient methods, substitutions, patterns, and tricks share one weakness: math. This is a weakness quantum computers can exploit.
You know how I killed all
Soon
those
these
people and got
machines
Tesla?
might reveal every secret message ever written.
I just kid. Don't
including
do
yours.
that. Don't clip that. It's just a joke, okay? It's like, how do I buy that Tesla? Knowledge. Math. I fucking can't. Oh. What a nice box.
The quantum computer hissed as liquid helium circulated through the processor. Carl Bishop checked the temperature. Minus 460 degrees Fahrenheit. Absolute zero. Quantum bits needed to be that cold to maintain coherence.
Absolute zero. Oh.
Stanford's quantum lab was empty at 3 a.m. He'd been running simulations for 12 hours straight. His eyes burned. But CTEC's grant requirements were clear. Demonstrate quantum error correction or lose funding.
The money!
Quantum computers were terrible at error correction. Quantum states are too fragile, too much noise. If the temperature changes by half a degree, they decohere. If radio waves leak in, they decohere.
Oh no.
A truck hits a pothole a mile away, the vibration in the earth makes them decohere.
What?
But Carl noticed something strange in the error correction data. The errors weren't random. Then he realized they weren't errors at all. The quantum computer was cracking encryption keys, millions of them. Keys that protect everything from banking passwords to nuclear launch codes.
Nani? I tell you, that's how Terminator is going to start.
Carl decided to test this. He entered an RSA 4096 security key and ran down the hall for another coffee. He wasn't in a hurry. Even the world's most powerful supercomputers would need billions or trillions of years to break RSA 4096. But when he returned 5 minutes later, he couldn't believe it. The key was cracked. Carl now realized his computer was the most powerful and dangerous weapon on Earth. He started to panic. He tried to delete the data, but it was already uploaded to CTEC's private servers. By sunrise, 3 intelligence agencies had flagged the data transfer. By 9 a.m., the first bank security system was breached. By noon, every bank went dark. The quantum apocalypse had begun.
See, chat, you just need gold. You guys have gold? Do you have like a pile of gold on you? And guess what? You don't. Skill issue.
Your entire digital life depends on 2 prime numbers. That's it, 2 numbers, and they protect everything. Your passwords, your messages, your bank accounts, all of it. Modern encryption is based on this simple trick. Take 2 huge prime numbers and multiply them together. That creates your public key, a number anyone can use to send you secret messages. But only someone who knows those original prime numbers can read those messages. Working backward, trying to find those original numbers, would take a computer billions of years. Or so we thought. In December 2024, Google unveiled Project Willow. Their quantum computer solved a problem in 5 minutes that would take our fastest supercomputers longer than the age of the universe.
Oh my.
Quantum computers do this using superposition.
Hang on. You want to pump the brakes on the nerd chatter and fill me in?
Well, think about flipping a coin. It lands on either heads or tails. Normal computer bits work the same way. Everything is either 1 or 0. It's binary. But quantum computer bits, or qubits, can be 1 and 0 at the same time.
Let's talk about that, Willis.
Qubits are non-binary. What? Are they?
No, they are, but I need you to stop talking. So instead of flipping that coin, it's a coin spinning on its edge. While it spins, it's not heads or tails, it's both at once. That's superposition. Now imagine trying to crack a safe with a million combinations. A normal computer can only try 1 combination at a time, but a quantum computer, it tries all combinations simultaneously. The NSA has been warning about this moment for years. They call it Y2Q, the year quantum computers become...
Oh, you know, it's funny that people are saying Y2K. Oh no, now it's Y2Q. Haha. Haha, yeah. Damn, I was not expecting that.
Powerful enough to break our current encryption. They thought it would happen between 2030 and 2040, but Willow changed everything. For 30 years, quantum computers suffered one major problem: errors. Reading quantum
Ever.
data is like trying to read a book during an earthquake. It's too unstable to work properly. But
Skill
Google
issue.
fixed that with Project
I
Willow.
can do that.
How'd it fix it?
By grouping qubits together. There are groups of qubits handling processing, and groups of qubits that do nothing but track and fix errors. The more qubits you add, the fewer errors you have. It may sound counterintuitive, but it's like building a sandcastle that gets stronger the bigger it gets. Now,
Nani?
with AI's help, quantum computers are on track to break current encryption by the year 2029, way ahead of schedule.
Yeah, this is bad.
In 2024, the Department of Defense accelerated its quantum modernization program. Their latest directive warns that critical systems must be quantum resistant by 2025. But one
They're
detail
not.
stands out. They're not just protecting future messages. They're racing to protect everything we've ever encrypted. And they're running out of time.
Yeah, we're screwed. Y2K, Y2K is a fucking joke. Y2Q is the next big thing right there. Haha, yeah. Haha. Oh shit. Oh fuck.
When Liz Emery's phone buzzed at 4 a.m.,
Another
she
reason to blame
almost
the
ignored
internet.
it. After 15 years in cybersecurity, late-night calls usually meant someone at the hospital forgot their password. But caller ID showed Mount Sinai's emergency line. The first report was in. Patient records appeared on digital billboards in Times Square. They included blood test results, psychiatric evaluations, and terminal diagnoses that patients had not yet told their families about. Senators, congressmen, CEOs. Their private medical data was all over the internet.
Oh,
she was still
my
coordinating the hospital's
God.
response when the news reported that every dating app was breached. Then they came back online.
Okay.
Suddenly, on every device in the city, smartphones, TVs, billboards, was a link to a site where anyone could look up any information that was part of the dating app breach. Direct messages, real names and emails, browser histories, private photos and videos, all revealed. Liz figured the only people celebrating were divorce attorneys. Then an email came into hospital security. Pay $1 billion or every pacemaker control system on Earth will go down. Pay another billion or insulin pumps will go down, starting with diabetic children. The city started to crack. Police
Do it,
dispatch
no
systems
balls.
were offline. Traffic lights went dark. ATMs
Just
were
like,
dumping
what?
cash into
Do
the
it.
street.
They won't do it,
Bank
chat.
balances
Oh wait,
were
they
set
actually
to
did.
zero.
Oh fuck, never mind.
Autonomous vehicles became killing machines. Delivery drones crashed into buildings like kamikaze pilots.
Wow, look at that AI
A fleet of
generated stuff right
Cybertrucks
there.
tore through a shopping mall before exploding, all at once. News channels tried to cover the chaos, but their
It's all
broadcasts
AI
were
generated right
hijacked.
there. I like the way how it's all
CNN
AI
anchors
generated
watched
too when it comes
helplessly
to this.
as their personal emails were displayed on screen. The White House press secretary's private texts appeared during a briefing about the crisis. Then the NSA made an emergency broadcast that somehow made it through. They said there was a nationwide system compromise. For the safety of every American, martial law was now imposed. Just as the message was covering the mandatory curfews,
Anyway.
every phone in the country went dark.
No. My off-brand images and the folder. Oh no.
Major technology companies
it.
are
I'm
racing to
just
build
kidding.
quantum-resistant encryption. Google, IBM, and Microsoft have teams working around the clock. But there's a big problem. Quantum computers don't just threaten future messages. They threaten everything we've ever encrypted. Every encrypted file, every secure transmission, every protected database becomes vulnerable, even ones from decades ago.
The homework folder
Intelligence
chat.
agencies have been collecting encrypted
The
data since the
homework
Cold
folder
War.
has been
your
leaked.
old emails, your financial records, your private messages, all sitting in databases waiting to be unlocked. Then there's Bitcoin.
Yeah, you know, you
its
like
entire
chat. You could
security
be like,
system
you know,
depends
25
on the
still have
same
homework
math
folder.
quantum computers are
It's all right.
about to break.
It's just you're very passionate
Shadow
about
groups
learning.
have already collected
So I
hundreds
still
of
kept
thousands
it.
of encrypted Bitcoin
Very useful
wallets.
stuff in there.
They're just waiting for quantum computers powerful enough to crack them.
But it's been hacked.
All that money could vanish in
No.
seconds. At current prices, that's billions of dollars.
Hodl till zero, baby!
Banks know this is coming. JP Morgan started building quantum-resistant vaults in 2023, not for gold or cash, for computers. These facilities will never connect to the internet.
So that means I can
They'll use
actually walk
paper
into the bank and
records
take the
human
money then.
couriers. The military is
Fascinating.
training for quantum
I
dark
now have
operations.
knowledge.
Missions conducted without digital communication. Teams
Okay,
practice using
okay,
prearranged
I'm
signals,
joking, we're not
dead
doing
drops,
that.
and one-time code books.
Don't do
the same
that.
methods that kept secrets during World War II.
Oh.
The NSA's latest reports show Project Willow proves something they already knew. The quantum apocalypse isn't coming, it's already here. The NSA isn't trying to stop it. it's preparing for what comes after. Because the race is no longer about building quantum computers. The race is to survive them.
And to be fair, when you think about it, if they hack all this stuff, like nuclear launch codes too, those also can get overridden and then launched. And to be fair, like, it's crazy that people say like, oh, what was it, like Y2K, that thing that happened back like long time ago. It was like, what was like when the 2000s came, like they said every computer, everything that was ever made would just stop working. And then 2001 came and everyone's just like, oh, well, I guess nothing bad happened with the computers. Nothing bad happened. The computer still worked fine. Everything still worked fine. All the phones worked fine. Everything worked fine. And that was the Y2K. Now we have a Y2Q, which is everything's going to get leaked. The Discord group chat got leaked. That's essentially what's going to be going on. Everyone's private Discord group chat got leaked, and that's something we can't have right there, to be honest with you. And I find it crazy too, because, you know, like the other thing too, people are like, oh, you know, like they're just trying to prepare for it. Yay, we're fucked. Yep. Yeah, we are fucked. It kind of sucks, but I'm not looking forward to that though. But oh my god, but it's like, hang on, I'm trying to remember. Like, you guys remember that, like, the Fallout series, the one that came out recently, and I think they're doing like a second season on that right there. A lot of people at that time were always like, oh no, like, what are we going to do when the bombs drop, you know? And I honestly feel like you know, playing that game and then, you know, playing the game late. But I even before that, a lot of my friends talked about, like, you know, the Fallout series and how it was. I think my generation, I don't know. Well, my group were like, you know, previous generations were like, oh, what are we gonna do when the drop, like what are we gonna do when the bombs drop? You know, the atomic bombs. My generation is more like, what are we gonna do after the atomic bombs drop? And then and then Fallout right there kind of did that. So that is there. I don't know about you, chat, but I have like 8 tons of jerky, 50 tons of gold, and some licorice. I'm not sharing with you on that, just FYI. You guys ain't getting any licorice. The profit from my cold,
Manhattan
dead
stretched around the block.
hands. Wait, why do you have a
Cash
knife?
only. No cards, no transfers. Just paper money and metal coins. Donald Janik watched from his office window across the street. In his 30 years as a security consultant, he'd seen a lot of changes, but nothing like this. The quantum apocalypse was erasing decades of technological progress. His company now specialized in physical security, armed guards, paper record keeping, mechanical locks, the kind of security you couldn't hack. When the hospital records started appearing online, they shut down their networks and went analog. Now armed guards protected rooms full of paper files. Doctors wrote prescriptions by hand. Old mechanical devices became valuable. Typewriter repair shops reopened. Filing cabinet manufacturers couldn't keep up with demand.
Like carrier
bicycle messengers replaced email.
Chat, you know what that means? All those carrier pigeons that I bought. Oh my god, I'm gonna be a millionaire. Let's go. I'm gonna be a millionaire, chat. Imagine not investing into my own stupidity and working on carrier pigeons. Yeah, you know who you guys are. You guys are probably like, oh, whatever. This guy's talking about like he's trying to sell his carrier pigeons. Who cares? Just leaves and never comes back. And then, oh, next second comes in. You guys are gonna be like, I can't send a message anymore. What am I gonna do? And I'm like, wow, that sucks. I have a whole bunch of carrier pigeons. Well, you know what? They were like $5. Now they're $55. Skill issue. Get fucked. Should have got them when they were $5. Chat, I'm selling carrier pigeons. Do you guys want to buy some? Like, please. I'm trying to get rid of them.
Everyone with skills from the pre-digital age suddenly found themselves in demand. retired secretaries who could take shorthand, mechanics who could fix cars without computers, accountants who knew how to keep books by hand. The younger generation struggled to adapt. They never lived in an analog world. The smart ones saw it coming. They'd pulled their money out early and bought physical assets. Gold, silver, land, things you could touch. Things that existed in the real world, not just as numbers in a database.
Look, I told you, chat.
The
I got
rest
gold.
had to
Get
adapt
fucked.
or lose everything.
I told you guys to invest in gold, but no,
Back at
don't
Stanford,
listen to
Carl
me.
Bishop struggled with depression. He blamed himself.
Dude, his thumb's going in
the
his
company
face.
supporting his
His thumb's
work
going
no
in.
longer took his calls.
His thumb's going in his
Still, Carl
face.
wouldn't stop digging. He had to find out what went wrong. Then Carl found something buried in the data.
I don't know,
Timestamps
sometimes
that
these
didn't
AI
make sense.
generated things are kind of
Some
stupid.
encrypted messages were broken months ago. Then he realized the quantum apocalypse didn't start with his mistake. It started months earlier. The first bank breach wasn't at noon the first day. It was 3 months before. But balances weren't touched. Hospital records,
Nani?
websites, smartphone apps, most have been compromised for months. But again, the data wasn't touched. Carl realized the chaos wasn't an accident. It was cover for something else. Something much bigger.
Oh.
Something much worse.
My God. Well, chat, I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be investing in gold after this. You're welcome.
Scientists are racing to develop new encryption methods that even quantum computers can't break. They call it post-quantum cryptography. The strategy, find mathematical problems so complex that not even quantum computers can solve them efficiently.
The fact that they say post. You say post. Like post-apocalyptic. The apocalypse has already happened. Oh. I don't like that.
But there's
That's
a
not
problem.
nice. That's
Whenever
not
we think
fun.
we found an unbreakable code,
I don't
someone
recommend it.
finds a way to break it. The Germans thought Enigma was mathematically impossible to crack. The Japanese believed Purple would keep their World War II communications secret forever. The NSA once claimed RSA encryption would take billions of years to defeat. They were all wrong. Some banks are returning to physical security systems, offline computers, paper records, and in-person verification. Government agencies are reviving Cold War-era methods, one-time pads, dead drops, and bicycle couriers.
Sometimes things don't happen the way you planned. Sometimes you can end up lower than you started.
What?
Quicksilver. Somebody out there gets it.
Quantum dark operations like air-gapped facilities, analog communication, and paper messages could work, but they're temporary solutions. Throughout history, humans have played an endless cat-and-mouse game with secrets. Someone creates an unbreakable code,
So
someone
we're going
else
back
breaks
to,
it, and a more complex code replaces it.
We're going
and the
back
cycle
to
continues.
post-World War II. Got
In
it.
the quantum age, there are no more secrets.
Carrier pigeon.
Only information waiting to be
Yeah.
revealed.
My
That's why the
carrier
NSA
pigeon
isn't trying to
enterprise is
stop it.
kicking up
They aren't
now.
building new
Yeah, boy.
code-breaking technology. But you know what they are building?
Shut the
Poggers.
fuck up. I know this is a good investment still. I'm going to invest more in the carrier pigeons now. He's going to get me a few more of them. Still selling them for $5. Anyone, any takers? Any takers, guys? Hello? No? Okay, fine. You know, but then when you guys need them,
The
fuck you,
concrete
you know,
room in
fuck
the
you.
bunker
You guys
beneath
gotta
Fort
pay
Meade was cold and
$55.
quiet. Carl Bishop was in his 5th hour of interrogation by 4 government agents. The NSA building above them had been abandoned when their classified files leaked. But this room, which technically didn't exist, still had power and a working computer.
Nani?
Carl learned the truth over the past few months. C-Tech wasn't a tech company. It was a joint NSA-DARPA program that had been running since 2019. They didn't have just one quantum computer. They had a network of them, hidden in secure facilities nationwide. For years, the network had quietly broken every encryption it touched. Banking records, medical files, private messages, and government secrets.
Oh my.
The intelligence agencies had access to everything. But there was a problem. They couldn't act on any of it without revealing their capability. Imagine knowing about every terrorist plot, every corporate crime, every government corruption scandal, but being unable to stop any of it without exposing how you got the information. The
Oh my
agencies were
God.
drowning in intelligence they couldn't use. The solution was elegant. Create a world where privacy no longer existed, where every secret was public. If nothing were private, there'd be no need to explain how they obtained their intelligence.
Oh.
No search warrants were necessary. Everything was already exposed. The social chaos was part of the plan.
The homework
Communities
folder
going
got
analog
released.
wasn't a problem, it was the goal. Drive the dangerous elements offline, where they can be more easily monitored through traditional surveillance. Let the general public choose between convenience and privacy. They would choose convenience. They always did. But the intelligence agencies had their own solution for secure communication: a return to Cold War tradecraft.
My God.
Dead drops, one-time pads, face-to-face meetings in soundproof rooms. Their most sensitive operations moved to facilities that never touched a network or used a computer. Buildings that didn't officially exist, staffed by people with no digital footprint. They maintained two separate organizations.
Aliens. There was a
the
UFO
public-facing
shot.
agency
Aliens. They're
everyone knew
real.
about, and the shadow agency that operated completely offline. The public agency would rebuild its security and update its systems.
That's like
all of it would be
division.
theater. The real work happened in places like this concrete bunker, places with no windows, no cameras, no phones.
No phones.
Places where messages were still written by hand and burned after reading. The most important secrets were never digitized, never encrypted, and never stored anywhere except in human memory.
Oh. I have a bad memory.
The NSA didn't break encryption to destroy society. They destroyed society to hide that they'd broken encryption almost a year ago. Carl was set up. The quantum apocalypse was pinned on him. But what could he do about it? Martial law was still in effect. The NSA wanted him to keep working and keep quiet. He could either agree to cooperate or go to prison.
Die.
Violation of the Espionage Act, willful communication of national defense information, unauthorized access of classified documents. The list went on and on. He didn't have much of a choice.
Man, they made some guy fall guy.
As Carl left the concrete room, he realized that in a world with no secrets, the most powerful people weren't those who could break encryption. The most powerful people were those who could keep secrets without it. And right now, the only people who could do that worked for the NSA.
NSA. God damn, it's always the NSA. This is real. Be prepared. All right. Well, we're fucked. Really. Oh shit.
Thank you so much for hanging out today. My name is AJ. There's
Well,
Hecklefish.
you're welcome,
My
chat.
voice is my passport.
And we already got this dope, but yep. Well, I just wanted to play it out with you guys because I just thought it was like an interesting thing right there. So I would probably recommend you to start deleting that homework folder right now. You know who you guys are. Unless you want people to see the sauce. I don't think you guys want people to see the sauce. But if you want people to see the sauce, then be my guest. That's on you right there. That's not me. Next, we have our little bonus segment right here. And that is a Meanwhile on the Internet. Meanwhile, on the Internet, that park place right there has a new article that came out where it's talking about the Square Enix harassment policy could lead to legal action against gamers. Companies will go after fans for denial of personality. Meaning, if you have one bad thing to say, and you're a YouTuber, or even just like someone that's just on the random internet right there that has a big follower traction, they will sue you. They will take legal action. And all I can say to that is, kind of dumb because that's literally everybody. I'm just saying that's literally everybody out there. Like, you're really gonna push that out there for just okay, all right. So another reason why DEI is kind of going bad because you know, I mean, Square Enix also is kind of leading that DEI right there too. So it's not good, not good. Meanwhile, on the internet, if you have been living under a rock for the past, like, you know, week or two, you probably are not aware, but I'm making it aware right now, that Fox Rain, that does these very, very beautiful artwork right here, that's actually what they have drawn, has their only Fox Now Live, you know, flavor. And they even put in cat ears lids. They put cat ear lids on. Yeah. So go get some. Surprised they're not fox ears. Would have made more sense, but, you know, still looks really cool. Definitely recommend it. Meanwhile, on the internet, video games are going to be controlled entirely by adult toys that were showcased at the CES. And to that, Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? The comments still have a lot of stuff to say on that. But I will say that imagine just, you know, you're on a helicopter, okay? All right, so you need a stick to control the helicopter, okay? So you have to okay, well, you know, I don't need to say anymore. Just know that if this happens, you guys want smelling in video games. Now you want to get on top of something in a video game. You know what this is going into? This is going into the future of Cyberpunk 2077. I blame you guys if that happens. But if I get a robotic arm right there that has a rocket on there, then I guess that will... I don't actually know what to say on that. I guess I'll be okay with that. Still disappointed, but I guess proud in a way. And obviously, meanwhile, on the internet, if you guys have not been, you know, paying attention, yeah, they're all clones. And we already covered that too earlier in the section, but it, you know, in the reaction category. So yeah, very lazy writing. I honestly feel like this was probably like the worst thing. Waste of time. Waste of time for everybody. And even I responded to that right there. I just wanted to watch that though to see how it went out. But yeah, nope, like this is it. They're clones. Lazy writing. Meanwhile, on the internet, YouTuber Gamer Nexus has filed a lawsuit against PayPal and Honey for their deceptive trade practice alongside two other claims. So this is another content creator going after Honey for their practices on taking money from content creators, as well as just, you know, them being like a dick and doing that right there. Also making money off of people who are not content creators too as well. So you could, again, as I said, you could be looking for something. They'll get money if you use the Honey app and you have the coupon, it doesn't work. They actually get commissioned, even though you did the research yourself and did everything, you know. Not something really that nice, and you don't even get the coupon to use at that too. So there's only I honestly feel like it's going to be a matter of time before Honey goes out, but we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that and see any more YouTubers are going to be filing more lawsuits. So on Honey, because right now we have Legal and now Nexus. So I honestly am under the belief there's going to be a lot more content creators going in for those lawsuits right now, and they're probably going to not be in business anymore. Meanwhile, on the internet, Captain America's Brave New World collapsible shield popcorn tub. It's a large one, so you only get a large one. And a collectible cup too. Again, only large. So now that you can have a hammer and a stick, now you get a shield. Well, this is interesting right now. Are we going back to middle age? Is that where we're going? I mean, I guess. I mean, there was the other one with, like, you know, the hammer, and then, like, you know, a stick. No, it was a rock. Sorry. I think there was one with a stick too. They're giving you collectible weapons of war, chat. I can't wait to run around with my popcorn warhammer with my Captain America shield. Bro, some guy says something super controversial about Captain America Brave New World. I honestly feel like there's going to be people picking up those shields and that hammer if you brought it. That's a popcorn, you know, bucket. And that rock, that's also a popcorn bucket. Wow. I was going to say that's going to be like an Avengers Endgame moment, but that's just going to be like, you know, everyday, you know, Middle Ages gentlemanly discussions. I'm definitely going to be throwing that shield at somebody, chat. I'm going to see if I can knock out 3 people and then capture that shield and then run away before they wake up or someone tries to knock me out. I'm hoping those 3 people are all in the group right there, so I knock them all out so I have enough time to actually get away. And that shall conclude it for the Sunday talk. If you guys happen to have any kind of like, you know, breaking news and all that kind of stuff that you've seen that I might have missed within the past week, feel free to let me know in the Discord, or let me know in the comments down below on YouTube at the same time, as well as, you know, going under my Twitter, you know, Threads, Blue Sky, under the, you know, the week schedule. If you find anything crazy, you could just let me know, hey, I found something pretty crazy, check this out, and then I'll be able to check it out later on. But Discord's primarily the place I would use to find that stuff, and YouTube comment sections as well. All right, that shall do it for the video for YouTube. Well, I know I'm gonna be doing when the Captain America movie comes out, chat. Want to get popcorn shield. Get fucked. Imagine not having a popcorn Captain America shield. Skill issue, man. Skill issue. Also, the quantum thing right there kind of scares me a bit too. That right there scares me. Oh man. Well, luckily I just deleted the homework folder, chat, so we are safe. I am safe. I don't know about the rest of you guys. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but you guys might not be safe though with that. But let's see. I don't know what that was. I was gonna read Demi, but I don't think Demi's on anymore. No. Curses. Curses in the time zones of timing. Bad time zones. Yeah, no. I don't think they're on. Even though I would have liked if they were on. No. I haven't rated Demi in 80 years, chat. Oh, God. Ah. But, yeah, no, I can't find anybody right now to raid. No. Damn it, okay. Well, next time I'll be able to rate some people on Mariner Monday. We'll be playing some Azure Lane, though. So if you're an average Azure Lane enjoyer, feel free to prop in on Mariner Monday. And we're also probably going to be doing that on Wednesday, too, because I'm trying to grind up on a lot of stuff right now. So there's also that. So expect grindy grinds. And also, I might change out some games, too, because I was just curious, and I want to see how that goes. We're probably going to be playing Marvel's Rivals sometime this week, too. So look forward to that. I barely played it, so I'm probably just going to be playing the PC port of it because I'm trying to get away from the console port of it, mainly for the fact that I'm just getting away from console going more to PC. Alright, but that will be it for right now, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming by. Have a most wonderful rest of your evening. If you're going to stay on for a little while longer. If not, then sweet dreams. If you're outside of the world, stay safe and stay hydrated. And I will see you guys on Mariner Monday. Bye-bye. Bye, Squirrel. Bye, Moon. Bye, everybody. See you all next time. Bye-bye.